Okay, so I was asked to do a video on homophobia. So I'm gonna do a video on homophobia. If my makeup screwed up, it's because I just came back from Bellacar. Okay, so first I'm gonna address the religious issues with it. So basically, they say that it's unnatural. But if in the Bible it says that God created us in His image, and we're the only ones who He created in His image, and we were given freedom. So we're allowed to be who we want to be. We're allowed to make choices, be they right or wrong. So they would say that, clearly the choice to be gay is the wrong choice. But they have shown, they've done studies where animals like mice and horses and bears have all been found to be gay. And just one second, I'm going to pause my music. Okay. And they've also found that, so mice and bears and horses, have all been found to be homosexual. So clearly, it's not just something that people choose because they're heathens or anything. It's in genetics. Sorry, I wrote down all the points I wanted to talk about. I'm making a video. Okay. So they've done studies, they've actually done studies where they've had a bunch of mice in a cage, and once they reached certain levels of food, they had stable food, they had stable water, and once their population reached a certain size, certain male mice, they mostly only do studies on the male mice, certain male mice would not mate with female mice. Whether or not the female mice was in heat or not, they would not mate with her. They refused. If they were put alone, they still would not mate with her. So this shows that once you reach a certain population where people aren't forced to be reproducing, any species really, becomes more, that instinct, that biological primitive instinct isn't there so much, so it's not everybody needs it. They also did a study, and this is in Psychology Today, I believe it's called. It's a magazine. It's either called Psychology Today or Psychology Now. Anyway, they did a study on the gay gene because we're made up of genes, right? So everything about us is by our genetics. And clearly, somebody who had a gay gene in them, you would assume that it would be taken out because they're not reproducing, so that gene would disappear. What they found was that generally, people who were gay had sisters who liked sex. And they say that because, because on average, sisters of people who were gay males most specifically, had 2 to 3 times as many partners as women who didn't have gay brothers. Also, the women who had the gay brothers had more babies. They had more kids. So clearly, this gene is a favorable gene in which, how do I describe it? It's a favorable gene in women. So it allows them to have lots of babies, and it helps them produce more, and it makes them like sex more. The kind of joke is that it makes them like dick so much that their brothers like it now. But clearly, this gene was needed. It was necessary, because without this gene, there wouldn't have been less women producing less babies, because way back, before they knew basic health, like, wash your hands before you deliver a baby, these women, their babies were healthier and stronger, and they liked having sex more. And so that is why the gene is still there today. So there's nothing unnatural about it. It's there because it fucking helped keep us a society and help us become the huge population number that we are today. So you can bitch about gay guys all you want, because their sisters are the fucking nymphos that you love. So without them, there's no sister nymphos. And I'm going to go away from the whole scientific / religion scientificness of it, there's no point. You know what? If you're religious, God says to love everybody. You aren't God. You don't get to judge people. You don't get to say what's right or wrong. You don't get to put judgment on people. If you don't agree with them, that's fine. You don't have to agree with them. You don't even have to like it. You do not get to judge them and treat them like dirt, because you are not God. God said, do not judge. That is His job. So when you are going around judging people, telling them they're going to burn in hell and shit like this, and damning them, you are acting as God. God doesn't like that. God doesn't like people acting like they're Him. If He hates them so much, He'll deal with it. You don't need to. So, fuck off. Seriously.